everyone, Paul ISM. Welcome to another inbox review. Before we get going today, so make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you click the little bell notifications, get notified of all our latest videos. Click the like button and leave a comment. I do read and reply to all the comments and appreciate everybody that takes the time to leave a comment on the channel. And of course, if you scroll up in the description, there's a link to a big long list of all the items I use in my videos, so if you see anything, you should be able to find it in there. So this is another one of those highly anticipated kits that came out a few weeks back. I'm a little bit late to the party doing a review. Normally very quick and on the ball, but one thing or another, I've not really felt like doing reviews, if I'm totally honest, and it's taken me to now to get the get up and go to do it, and it's here, so we're going to do it today. Highly anticipated kit from Belkits. It's been in the making for about a year now. And I know loads of people have been looking forward to this, and hopefully it's going to be a decent kit. And Belkits have progressed a little bit along the way from when they first started. A lot of the kits are known to have a bit of soft detail, a few fit issues, which is a real shame because the subjects they do, no other manufacturer will do really. So hopefully this is an improvement. As I say in my review, it's not my favourite Group B car, this. I prefer the Audis and Lancias. I'm a big Ford fan as well. Thankfully they are bringing out an RS200 in the foreseeable future, so I'm looking forward to that one for sure. But as I say in the review, the only other option for this kit, and the RS200 to begin with, for now, is resin kits, and they can be a bit hit and miss in detail, and very, very pricey as well. Now these kits aren't the cheapest. These retail at $54.99 at umpretail.com. I'll put a link in the description down below. We've only got a couple in stock at the minute, but hopefully we should get a restock soon, so keep checking back if we've got them in stock. But you get a lot in the box. You do get a lot in the box for the money, but they are still expensive kits. But it's a very, very, what's the word? Not obscure, but it's a kit nobody else is going to make, like I've said several times now. So it's good to see them out there, and like I say, hopefully it's going to be a decent kit. Crazy car, absolutely mental. 3 litre V6, normally aspirated, 400 horsepower or something crazy. Absolutely mental little thing, can do 0 to 60 in 3 seconds, and they were all homologated as well. So they had to produce a certain number of road cars, so these were out on the road, maybe not on the full rally spec, but they were certainly out there, and yeah, a lot of very lucky people got to own these cars and still do to this day, although I wonder how long the Metros lasted. Anyway, right, let's jump in with the review, get started and see what we've got. Right then, let's jump straight in. Box art looks fantastic. There's 2 of these kits, both retail at $54.99 at myself and Lee at umpretail.com. Sadly, we've only got a couple of these left in stock. Hopefully we get a restock, so if you are watching back, just check umpretail.com. I'll put a link in the description down below, and hopefully we shall have more of them in stock soon. So this is the Rothman scheme. For reasons unknown in certain countries, they banned tobacco sponsorship. And probably rightly so, to be honest. So quite often it'll have the racing logo on rather than Rothman's. Hopefully, I don't know if they have, I haven't looked, somebody will replace these and we can actually get the full Rothman scheme out of it. But fantastic box art, actual real picture of the original car. It looks absolutely fantastic. You know I'm a sucker for tobacco sponsorship, and some very nice pictures around the box as well. And then just info on the side about being an officially licensed MG product. So there we go. So typical box art from Belkits, typical box size as well. When we open it up, there's quite a lot in here. So let's open it up. Have a look what we got. So we've got the instructions and the decals. We've got the main box with the body shell in. We've got our tyre pack, chrome pack. We have our windscreen mask, and I'm going to guess they are decals for logos and what have you. We've got our PE set and our seatbelt fabric as well. Nice PE set there, it's very cool. Clear parts, chassis and interior, wheels, 2 sets of rims as you can see, more interior parts, a rear wing, engine cover, we've got our brakes, engine, interior parts, engine, and a bumper as well. So quite a lot of parts to go through. So I'm going to pop this to one side. We'll have a look at the body shell to begin with. So it's a very iconic shape, the 6R4. 6R4, if you didn't know, it stands for 6-cylinder, 4-wheel drive, sorry, 6-cylinder, rear engine, 4-wheel drive. That's what it is. That's what I'm told anyway. One of the only real Group Bs that were normally aspirated, I believe, as well. The rest of them are turboed. It's using the 3 litre V6, well, I think it was a Rover derived unit from their V8. So the body shell, typical Belkits. It's crisp, well moulded. I'll zoom in a touch so we can see a little bit more. It's at the, you know, that recognisable shape of the 6R4. It's got that slightly brushed look to the plastic. It's not totally smooth, which doesn't make any difference at all because I always roughen it up before painting. A little bit of flash here and there, but nothing too dry. In fact, it's not flash, it's a mould line, so it's not too bad. Now, where Belkits can be let down sometimes is in their panel lines. They can be a little bit soft in places. Just going to look all around all the body. Don't look too bad. Tops of the door are deeper than the side panel, which is a bit strange. But overall, the body shell looks pretty decent. It's not the biggest of cars. 140 millimeters front to rear, so it's not the biggest of cars. Did I say it's not the smallest of cars? It's not the biggest of cars. Only 14 centimeters long. But that is that easily recognisable 6R4 look. Once it's got the front bumper on and that wing on the back, it is definitely very recognisable as one of the most iconic rally cars there was. Not necessarily my favourite, but it is still a very, very iconic machine. So I'm going to deal with the sprues as and when we get to them. Like I said, they're not going to just come out, so I'm a bit late on the review. With one thing or another, but it is what it is. Right, so straight off we've got a bit of random, that's just plastic, it's not actually flash. So, as a thought, in places it's a touch soft. This is just totally typical of Belkits. They make some great subjects, but the detail is soft in places, and a perfect case in point, if I find anything better, let me look, is like these brake discs and calipers. Whilst they are good, the detail is just not as crisp as it should be. We've got a little hint of flash around this one, but it's just not as tight or as crisp as, say, a Tamiya kit, and that would be fine, but these are Tamiya plus prices, to be honest. But they're very unusual subjects. Tamiya's never going to make a 6R4 Metro. So this is what it is. This is what we've got. They're perfectly acceptable kit. Being honest, even though we sell the kit, they are a bit expensive for what they are. And that's me being totally honest, as I always am. But the only other 6R4 kit I know of is a resin kit, and it's not great. I had one a while back. So this is a much, much better alternative. Overall, though, the parts are pretty good. It's just the detail is soft. The engine detail is a little bit soft. And so on. But overall, the detail is there. It's crisp in places, just a little bit softer in areas that it could be better. But overall, no problems there. There's not going to be anything that should give you an issue at all. There are some engine parts, we've got suspension subframes, what looks like a sump guard front and rear. We've got our discs, suspension, hubs, diff. So yeah, overall it looks pretty decent. So there's one sprue. The next one, we have a gearbox, lower engine, dashboard, steering wheel. Oh my god, it's a big steering wheel. We've got what looks like a footrest, wheel brace, part of the roll cage, so on and so forth, and exactly the same story as the other parts as well. A little bit soft in places, a little bit of flash here and there, but literally it's a wisp, like on the roll cage. A little wisp that can easily be cleaned up. They always need cleaning up anyway. Even on a Tamiya kit, you've got to run a sander over them to get rid of the seam lines. So it's not the end of the world. And the detail is there. Some really small part, like the engine shut-off button, switch, sorry. Just there, see? Right there. Beautifully moulded. Really, really nice. Steering wheel looks good. Looks big though. Really does look nice. Chunky steering wheel. And as with everything, the rest of it, it's perfectly category moulded, it's just a little bit soft in places. Next up, we're not going to hang around today. I want to get through this. I've got other things to do. Not that I want to rush the review, but I have other things to do. Right, so we've got our Lightpods now. It gives you the optional night stage part. Got the rear spoiler, front bumper. Is that front? Yes, it is front. Grille. We've got various other components, including what look like sun visors for the interior there. Got wing mirrors, and so on and so forth. Again, nothing really to write home about. Window wipers, it's pretty well moulded. If it wasn't for a little bit of softness here and there and a bit of flash, it'd be very, very good. They're definitely better than they were. When Belkits first came out with their Mark 1 Escort, I was waiting for that kit, and I was a little bit disappointed when it came out with the detail of it, but it still builds a nice kit. I built one recently, and they are still good kits. They just take a little bit of care and time, but they always release subjects that nobody else will ever release, so it's a catch-22. It's a little bit of a trade-off for the price, and that's it, but you're going to get a good kit at the end of the day. Nothing on here that's going to cause any issues. It's all well moulded, like I say, just a little bit soft in places. Right, we've got our wheels and engine covers there. These look nice. These are I think the Piper Cross air filters. Very nice. We've got another spoiler there as well. We've got two sets of rims there, as you can see. Let's have a look at those. Yeah, they're quite nicely done. Not too bad at all. I've come up a bit easier. It seems to zoom in a little bit better because it's a bit more light. So they're not bad. Two sets. Unsure of the difference. I'm going to guess one's gravel, one's road. I don't know. I'm sure somebody in the comments will correct me. Got the engine rocker covers, these beautiful filters. I'm guessing they're the carburetor intakes. I assume this was carbed. I don't know actually. Was it injected? I do not know actually. Very nice. Again, nothing there. Fairly well moulded. Wheels look good. Nice to get two sets as well. And the engine covers, once you chuck a wash in there, they will look very, very good. Next up, we've got our floor pan. Chassis, interior tub, door cards, and our seats as well. So, seats look really good. They're very nice. Very cool. Got our interior cockpit tub with the rear engine deck built in. There are some detail parts built in there as well, so some careful picking out the colours. You'll be just fine. Door cards are there with the window. Is that the actual door card? Yeah, it is the door card. The door card's there itself. And then we've got our interior chassis and under tray as well. And again, moulded well. No real issues there at all. There's no flash on these. The seats are really nice. Do like those seats. They are very cool. Very, very nice. So that is the main plastic done. Let's have a look at the clear parts as always. A part, so a sprue that can make or break a kit. So, let's have a little look. You know what? They're not bad. Got a bit of magnification, which we're going to get. There's certainly plenty of glass, I'll give it that. So it looks like we've got two sets of side windows. Unless they're the rear. Yes, they're the rear. I'm being daft, of course they are. You got your night stage lights there as well. Indicators, front rear lights. These scoops for the side. Front rear screen. And what looks like the engine bay separation, is it? And again, no problems there. The clarity is pretty good. If I bring it up, you can look through it. Clarity is pretty good. A little bit of magnification, but no real distortion. So yeah, no problem there with those clear parts. They're actually rather nice. Always a sprue that can make or break a kit, in my opinion. If the clear parts are terrible, it can be quite derogatory to the kit. Chrome parts. So then we're going to have light reflectors for the front, is it? And the night stage parts. Again, the chrome, typical Belkits chrome. Not the best, but perfectly adequate for what it's used for. It's a little bit thick, as you can see. But it's going to be behind lights, so it's going to do the job absolutely perfect with no issues at all. None whatsoever. It's not like you can see it clear as day. And then we've got our stereotypical Belkits rubber set. So we've got tyres. So these slot over. The tyres aren't too bad. The tread's pretty good on them. There's no sidewall detail, sadly. Hopefully we get some decals for it. But again, the tread's not bad. Could probably do with being a little bit deeper. But overall, they still look good. And they slot over, you can see. The bigger one side to the other, so they'll slot over the wheels. So they will probably fit quite nice. And then we've got our rubber sets in here. We'll have mud flaps. We've got hoses, polycaps for the wheels, and so on and so forth. And it's this very, very rubbery kind of material. So again, you've got nice hoses. They're going to be HT leads, hoses, polycaps. These must be mud flaps. Completely unsure about the others. But again, no problems there. They're going to be just fine. A little bit fiddly to fit. Take your time putting those on. I have had a few issues with those in the past, but once you get them glued in, a little dab of Siegel, or if you want to play it safe, and what I will do, to be honest, a little bit of white glue. Pop it in there, you'll have no issues whatsoever. Seatbelt material is just, looks like 2mm red ribbon. I personally think the 3mm is more suited. And then the PE set, I'm not going to open it because there's several small little parts in there. But we've got discs, seat belts, brackets, loads of grills, and a couple of pins as well, and some very, very small, look like fasteners there as well. So again, a nice little addition to the kit. Very good. We'll add quite a bit of detail to the kit that as well. And then we've got our, let's have a little look. We've got our screen mask. I don't really want to open this, but I'm gonna have to see what that, it's got to be the MG logos, is it? Yep, thought so. Metallic decals, stickers really. So we've got a nice metallic MG logo. We've got wing mirrors and a few other metallic parts as well. Let me bring you down here and see if that focuses any better. There we go. So very, very nice. So cut them out, be very careful putting them on. I think they will be water slide as well. They look like they are. So yeah, take your time with those. You've got your mask for your front screen. So I'm assuming that's the only part that needs spraying, which is a bit of a time saver, to be honest. And then we have our decals. So cartograph decals, which is nice. I've used Belkits decals before. They're okay. They are not the best. But to get some cartograph is a nice touch. Yeah, they look pretty decent. I don't think they'll give you no issues. So you got some of your composite, there's a fiberglass, carbon fibre decal there for those trays. You got your stereotypical is that the word? Iconic is the word I'm looking for. Gold and red Rothmans markings. Like I said, it does come with the racing. Hopefully somebody will release the full tobacco sponsorship, because I would like to see that. We've got Dunlop tyre markings. We've got seatbelts should you not want to use the supply PE ones. You've got markings for the engine, Recaro, Austin Rover markings, the rally plate, so on and so forth. Those decals look really good. They should not give you any issues at all. And it is a very, very pretty scheme once done. Like I said, I just hope we see the Rothmans option, because I do prefer that look. Got some dials and instrument gauges here as well. There's loads of those actually. Very nice. Nice to see some cartograph decals. That's a nice touch to give, because that alone, that sheet there, could cost you up to £15 to buy, and they should be much better quality than the usual Belkits, which can be a little bit hit and miss at times. Now, one part of Belkits I don't normally like all that much is their instruction books. They're a little bit, what's the word, strange. But anyway, we'll have a look. I haven't looked at this at all, so I've got no idea what it's like. We've got the box art on the front, we've got all the colour call-outs in Tamiya, in TS and X colours. We've got Revel, they look like enamels, Humbrol, could be acrylics, Mr. Hobby, Aqueous, and then the colour name call-outs there as well. If you want to see the colours required in the kit, there they all are. You can pause it and have a little look. Job done. Now we open it up, straight in. Oh, they've changed them. Their instructions are slightly different and look a lot better. A lot better. They are much more clearer. Very nice. Well done, Belkits. So we've got engine detail. You've got lots of nice parts to pick out. Because this detail's moulded in, you're going to have to pick that out yourself. Building up the engine with the gearbox, or the drive shafts, getting the rocker covers on, the exhausts on. It's nice and clear. It's a lot better than it used to be. You've got your paint call-outs, park call-outs, decal call-outs. Very, very nice. They are much better instructions. Much, much better. Get the engine in place. As always, start with the chassis and the engine. We always start with the body shell, and then we'll go back and work on it. Somebody else did ask, would this be a video build? I'm not going to rule it out, or I'm not going to say yes. I'll put it in the maybe pile, I must say. Getting all the components attached underneath, all the suspension, subframe, struts, brakes, calipers, so on and so forth. Assembling all this in place. It looks quite busy, but it doesn't look like it should give you any real issues. There's those rubber parts from underneath, so they're protective parts for gravel and what have you. Getting your wheels and tyres, so we're using the 5 spokes on this by the look of it. Front steering and suspension system, subframe, and then we've got these protective panels that have that carbon composite decal on as well. So a nice touch. Interior, so you've got your wheel brace, accelerator clutch brake, footrest, handbrake, loads of looking parts, tie downs, and then again you've got a detail up on your engine bay. It's going to look good this once it's done. Battery, I'm assuming that's a radiator, gear stick. Then we've got the seat mounts, the seats themselves, which are going to look very, very good. TS6 XF1, so it's a flat black. Okay, with the red seat belts, that's going to look very smart. Getting the seats in, getting the center console in, the CB radio, nice touch, very cool. Steering column, steering wheel, door cards, part of the roll cage attaches in there too. Getting the dashboard in. We've got some of those hose details, spare wheel in the front. And again, we're back to the engine bay, various components to pop in there. Including those lovely air filter. I'm sure they're in the decals. I'm sure I've seen either pipe across or I may well be wrong. But I'm sure I've seen pipe across decals on those air filters. We'll have a look in a minute. So yeah, nice touch there. Get the roll cage in. Quite a few parts to put on the inside of the body shell, so you're going to have to do your homework here to make sure that everything is painted correctly. Get your different colours in, the grill in, the spoiler, windows. This is quite an in-depth kit, to be fair, I'll give it that. Front spoiler, front bumper, the grills, the optional night race parts, which do look pretty good actually. Got our antenna. I didn't see the antenna, was that in the detail up there? Was it in? Oh yeah, it's in there. It's in with the PE, little metal antenna. There it is. Cool. Window wipers, that engine cut-off switch. Very nice. And then get the body on. Put the night version on if you want. And there she is. Look at that. Absolutely stunning looking car. Like I say, not my favourite. I will admit I'm more of an Audi Lancia fan, to be honest. But the Group B is an iconic car. 400 horsepower of a 3 litre normally aspirated engine. Absolutely crazy car. And very, very cool. And there's our look over the top as well. So, very cool. Like the instructions, they are much better than the old ones. Right then, so my opinion on the kit. You know, I'm always honest, even though we sell it, I'm going to be honest. I think it's a touch overpriced. I think it should be around the £45 mark. I think it's about £10 overpriced. For what you get, it's very good. It's a well-spec'd kit with the PE, the masks, the metallic sticker decals, seat belts. It's a well-spec kit, and Cargraph decals makes a big difference as well. I think that's the first time I've noticed, not saying I haven't done it, but it's the first time I've noticed Cargraph decals in the Belkits. I think you get a lot for the money, but I think it's a touch overpriced. But Belkits probably aren't the biggest company in the world. They're producing kits that nobody else is really going to do. The only other company that might do is Nunu, B-Max. So is it worth paying that extra £10? Hell yeah. To get kits like this, it's well worth the extra money. With all those extras in there, you're still getting a good kit for the money. I just think it's a touch overpriced. Kit-wise, the kit looks a lot better than some of the older Moldens I've looked at. Some of the older kits like the Mark 1 Escort I've built. The Fiestas, I've done a Fiesta, a Polo. And the more recent the kit's got, the better they have got. Two of the biggest downfalls of some of the older kits for me are the decals have not always been the best, and the instructions. I was never a fan of those almost hand-drawn instructions. These look so much better. Those instructions look fantastic. Really, really good. And with the inclusion of the Cargraph decals, all those extras, the PE, the masks, everything like that, it's going to make up, hopefully, a really nice car. It looks a very detailed kit of a very, very interesting subject. So, hopefully, you'll see this on my bench pretty soon. A few people are building it already. If you know me, we're a bit weird. If people are building a kit en masse, I don't want to do it. So I'll normally wait a little bit or pick a bit different scheme. But I want to do this scheme. I love tobacco sponsorships. They are iconic for me. But I need the proper Rothmans decals. Hopefully somebody like, who normally does them as a, an extra kit. There's loads of decal companies out there that will do them. Taboo normally does. I'm not a fan of Taboo, to be honest, though. MSM Creation might. There's a few schemes out there. Hobby Design probably will. Hopefully they'll bring them out and we can do the car as it's supposed to look with this proper rally sponsorship on. So overall, the kit looks great. I think it's a touch overpriced, but for what you pay, you get a lot in the box, and the kit looks good. It's a little bit soft in places, like I say. There's a little bit of flash here and there, but it's in places that you would have to clean up anyway. There'll be a natural seam line there, so it's not the end of the world. So overall, yeah, gets a thumbs up from me. I'll probably give it about an 8 out of 10. And I'm looking forward to tackling this one day. I'm really looking forward to RS200. That will be built the moment it comes out, because it's one of my favourite cars. Huge Ford fan, if you know me. And that, for me, is one of the most favourite Group B cars. Although it was really late to the party and kind of missed out. So there we go. That's what I think. If you've built it or you've got it, let me know in the chat down below. Like I say, we've got them in europeretail.com, retailing at $54.99. We've only got 2 more of these ones in. Hopefully we get more of them in at a later date. So keep checking back. And there we are. As always, check out europeretail.com. Check out ISM Facebook page and forum. My Paul ISM Facebook page, where all my personal modelling work is shared. And check out the Live at the Bench page and the Off Air Hangout group for all the Off Air Hangouts and our live shows as well. So thanks for watching today. I'll catch you all later. Take care. Bye-bye.